2, 3.
Never did that? I was in the Air National Guard.
Air National Guard.
He did it as a fucking joke.
Literally.
I know. And I was wearing hats. He's like, oh, like credentials me for all the Louisville games. Showed this. I don't know where he even got this. Off my Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah.
They had to put the old posts back over here.
I saw only for me to oh no.
To go from outside.
Because you're wearing all that and so
Yeah, I got 4 layers on.
yeah.
I was literally outside. Like, I was so high. And now I'm back.
You're like, oh, good.
I'm not trying to.
You're gonna have to go off later. That's what I like to do. I like to, I want to get hot and then go into the cold because then it just feels like you're getting relief.
Yeah.
I don't want to be cold and then go out.
Yeah. That's why I don't mind being a little cold when I'm doing football because you're running up and down.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure you're active.
Right. It's when it's wet, that's the worst. Wet is bad.
That was the last thing.
Because I can do cold. It's wet, that's,
And then the gear for the sports suit thing here.
oh, really? You should have like a big plastic thing that it
Yeah.
fits into.
It
You still have
fits,
to
but
reach
it's
out.
still like, if you want to be, if you don't have it on a tripod,
Uh-huh.
and you're moving and focusing, it's not like,
It's not as easy.
it's not as easy.
You're gonna miss a play.
Oh, I have.
You're gonna miss a key moment.
I know.
Just tell Kim, get off ESPN.
That was me last night when I had like my ringer like covering like part of the lens. I'm like, it's great, what? But you can barely see it.
Is there a string or something that I can pull with that?
It looks like it's like old time. It's like a vignette.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so it was shot in
That's
1900s.
funny. Vignette. I'm ready to go. Clocking and change.
Oh, can you now? Okay.
Hey McGavick, are you gonna get Brohm to say that's your opinion tonight?
Everyone else.
Yeah, what was that about? I seen that when I was walking in.
I'm supposed to see what I can conjure up.
In Dayton Trust.
I don't know how to make it happen.
I don't know if they know about that.
I asked him how to say next to him. You get on the radio and he called and said no. I don't know if it actually happened.
I don't know if it actually happened either.
But somebody.
Because I feel like we would have seen something across the field. Like there would have been a
I imagine he fucking picked it up.
like WWE style.
In fact, Kelsey last night was like, that's just like your opinion, man.
That's pretty much what
Yeah.
Your opinion that they were okay.
Matt, you gotta ask him. Ask him about if he heard about the chair.
About the what?
Ask Brohm if you heard about the Pitt player throwing the chair.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, it's all over Twitter.
Is there video?
That's
No,
what we can't find.
but there's no evidence this happened.
There's stadium security videos that like.
Well, they said that.
Said the stadium people didn't do anything.
Stunning.
Oh, wow.
I don't like it. Yeah, you're real cool.
Not me, Mom.
It's almost a smile.
There it goes.
our team. I think anytime you have a loss that disappoints us all, you got to, be man enough to look in the mirror and identify the problems and go about the week and trying to fix them. I thought we did a really good job of that, and we worked on a lot of things that I thought were costly the last game, and we came out and played a much cleaner game. And wasn't the best start at the very beginning, but we got a big interception what helped us. We played hard for 4 quarters. So I'm really proud of our players and our coaches. I thought that this is a good football team we played, and we found a way to win in this fashion. And the last home game was a great way to go out, in conference play. So really proud of our team.
As if with the penalties, played a lot cleaner from that aspect. I mean, how much of that was an emphasis during practice, and how, I guess, more disciplined do you feel like the guys were today?
Well, it was a huge emphasis, and whether it's discipline or whether it's just silliness, some of those penalties last week were just silly. As many offsides as we had, some pass interference calls that really hurt us because we were being too aggressive. Some hands to the face and face mask on sacks we had. They all seemed to pop up at the wrong time. So we identified them all. We worked really hard on fixing those. For the most part, I thought we did a good job. And anytime you can play a clean game in that aspect, you'll give yourself a chance to win. So, we definitely improved in that area.
Jeff, your defense was dominant tonight. What did you see from them in practice this week, coming off of that loss to Stanford, coming into this game tonight?
Well, I like our defense. They play hard. It hasn't been perfect this year by any means. We've had some moments here and there that haven't been up to standard. But when we're in position and we're playing what we need to play and we're using our technique and we understand the concept of what we're doing, I think we're very effective. And without question, we did a much better job. I do think when you get a lead on a team and make them do things that they don't like to do, it'll help your defense look even better. So, of course, that happened as well, which was the case in quite a few games last year. We got a lead and really allowed our defense to tee off. And that's how football works. It's why you got to keep the game close. You got to make sure that you're in it. Because if you get down a lot and you got to really change that game plan a little bit, other teams with good defenses can tee off.
Coach, with the changing landscape, with transfers and NIL and people talking about the playoff, how maybe the motivations to keep players in it, once you have difficult losses in the playoff is not necessarily on the table. Do you find yourself having to find new or different motivations to get the team, ready to get out there and play?
Well, everybody wants to get the prize at the end, but in the end, it's just one team. So you have to realize you got to play for more than that. To us, it's about having your best performance every week. It's about stepping up to the plate and putting yourself out there every week, whether things are going good or bad, instead of giving in and letting up. It's about continue to do it even if you're not in the playoff consideration, but know that there's still a lot to play for. And that's what it's all about. I mean, this is a great game that teaches you a lot of lessons, but you want to challenge yourself to bring your best every week. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but you have to do it. And if you don't, you're selling yourself short. So as simple as that may sound, we're going to challenge our team and our players to play their very best every week. They should do the same thing. And you're guaranteed 12 regular season games, and we need to try to show up for 12 regular season games with our best effort.
Jeff, with Eli Holstein's injury status for this game kind of in flux and having to maybe prepare for Nate Yarnell as well, how much did that sort of preparation help you guys when Yarnell did have to come into the game?
Well, we prepared for both. I think they're both effective quarterbacks. Yarnell threw for 300-plus yards against Clemson last week. I think that our defense played well. We got some timely turnovers that helped us kind of get a lead. And once we got the lead, now it allows our defense to really play much better. And I think that's what happened today, and you saw that. And anytime you're behind, even if we're behind, it's tough. I mean, it's tough to find a way to come back when you got to pass the ball a lot more than you want and drop back, allow those D-lines to tee off. But our defense responded, and they did a really good job today.
Hey, Jeff, what do you feel like is the key to consistency for the defense this season? Like the times there were kind of the lows of it, what do you feel like has, really been the major key to which way they go?
Well, I think a lot of things have happened this year that you try to prepare for as much as you can, but a couple of things pop up, and you're just like, my gosh, thought you covered this, maybe you just didn't cover it enough. And you players, you got to cover it even more. So I think it causes you to really lock in and focus and put the best plan together that these guys can execute. Sometimes that just means being simpler. Sometimes it means adjusting a few things. Sometimes it means making less corrections without a call just to try to get into the perfect thing versus a certain look and letting those guys play. So I just think we've worked through it all, but our guys have played hard. They practiced hard this week. This wasn't an easy week, but I didn't see any drop-off in our guys. I mean, it was no fun to deal with painful losses, but it's part of the game. It's going to happen every year, and how you respond is what matters. So I was really proud that we responded well.
Once the game was in hand, one of the bigger cheers of the night was when the Kentucky score was announced. How much does that game mean how you will look at this season, given the history and the recent history?
Well, it's a huge game, and I'm from here, so I understand it, and it means a lot to me. It'll mean a lot to our team. We haven't won this game in a long time now. Got to go on the road and find a way to do it. Kentucky plays a lot of really good teams every year, so they're battle tested. And we'll have our hands full. So, the weather will be cold. I'm sure it won't be conducive to just high flying, airing it out all over the place. You're going to have to, weather the conditions a little bit. But we're going to enjoy this, but understand that the biggest game we have on our schedule is coming up. And we got to treat it that way. And that doesn't mean we prepare really any different other than we've got to be locked in, focused in, and understand. Just what I kind of said earlier, you got to challenge yourself to have your best performance. And this is going to be a really good team that's going to play to send us out on a bad note, and we've got to overcome that on the road and play good football. And I think that's part of the game is how can you get yourself ready every week? How can you get yourself ready after a hard loss? How can you get yourself ready after a good win? There's always pitfalls to both of those scenarios, and the fact that we're playing our rival, we should have a great week of practice.
Last one.
It's just going off of that. I mean, you have Duke Watson, who was able to kind of come in last week and then do some things today. I mean, how much have you seen his confidence grow over the past few weeks?
Well, Duke can be a special player. He's really quick. He's elusive. He's got so much room to grow into his body still and get stronger that I think will really help him. So I think he's got a chance to be a special player. To see Isaac come back after getting nicked up is not easy to do for a true freshman. So I was proud of him. I mean, when he's in there, I mean, he can make some electric runs. He's just so quick and fast. So both those guys together, if they continue to develop, I think can really help this football team. They're fun to coach because they just go to work. They don't complain. They don't need anything other than they just want to help the team win. So two great young men, and we're fortunate enough to have them both.
Stanquan Clark's been good all year, but that first interception tonight stops them after they cut out a good opening drive. Second one leads to a score. Just what does he bring you? What's he brought you all season, and what was his play tonight?
Well, Stanquan, in our opinion, has the ability to be a really special player if he continues to just keep working and developing. He's got the size you want. He's got the speed. He has talent. He's got natural athleticism. He kind of suffered a hit to the head last week and was able to come back. And he made some great plays for us. And you just need those type of players on your team to step up when you need them. He definitely did today, and we're really proud of him. He works hard as well. He's a really good teammate. He does whatever you ask. So he is someone that I think can be, a captain, a leader of this defense if he continues to develop. Yeah, thanks, Jeff.
Okay, Erica, I'm going to reseat our cables, so we're clear, right? I'm going to test this other mic for you guys.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You guys all good? Sweet. I think I'll give you a mic check on their clear. Okay, here's coach's microphone. Check, check, check. 1, 2. Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 3, 4. How's it sound? Check, check, check. Okay. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, check. How's this one? Can you talk on your microphone?
Check 1, 2,
How's that
3,
microphone
4.
sound? Keep talking.
Sound good? 1, 2, 3.
Sounds good. Can you check yours?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
How's that
7,
sound?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
And then check, 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 check. 1, 2, 3, 4. How's this one sound? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's very possible. They sound clean now. Sounds clean now, though. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, we just did all 4. Yeah. Yeah. Real quick, you all, when y'all are asking questions, can y'all make sure it's off until you're asking? Because the last question we had some rumbling in it, and it started making the other microphones be a little weird. Thank you. All right, the room's been let now. The room's been let now. I'll sit in here until the next one starts.
Did you like that picture that I posted of him?
Those players. Chris Bell, okay. Questions for you guys?
Terrace, I'll start with you. You entered the game, I think, with 6 receptions on the season, doubled that today. What was it like out there playing against Pitt in this high-scoring affair?
It felt good. I know it felt good. Go out there. Coach told me go have fun. He always tell me go out, go have fun before the game. So that's what I did when I did have fun.
I guess just how good was it to be able to bounce back after that loss to Stanford tonight and kind of come out and have one of the best offensive performances statistically since like week 2?
It felt really good. We all know that we wasn't supposed to lose to Stanford. So we took that in. Went out and practiced and worked hard. Came back and it was mandatory for us to win the game.
Yeah. I was real upset because that's the first game I started. So that really had me real mad that we lost. So yeah.
Was there anything differently or more of an emphasis on anything this week that you guys focused on heading into this game?
The way we practice, I seen it in practice. What that was, Tuesday and Wednesday, from the 2 hardest days. Yeah, I seen it. Well, Tuesday was the hardest day, but Tuesday we was. So Wednesday was the hardest day. I seen it Wednesday. Once I seen it Wednesday, I'm like, oh, yeah, we can go beat Pitt.
For both players, I wonder how you feel this team is headed into the Kentucky game, given the play the last few weeks. It's been a little uneven tonight, obviously not.
We feel good, heading to next week. We just got to treat Kentucky like a, one season game, another game. We got to prepare for it. We got to come out with the win.
Yeah. Ain't gonna lie, I really want this game right here because we go to Kentucky. There's a lot of blue. My name blue, so I really want that to be my game right there. Kentucky game, we gotta beat them because the score right now, they ain't looking good. Gotta change that. Start this week.
Chris, did you realize when that Pitt defender missed the tackle that nobody was gonna catch you?
Yeah, all I knew is, after he went for my legs and he missed, I knew I was gone. Like I looked back one time, saw somebody like 5 yards away from me. I'm like, yeah, I'm gone. Yeah, it's over with. knees and get the run and chuck it.
Once I seen him miss that time, I knew he was gone.
Anybody else? You guys good?
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Thanks, Blue. Thanks, Blue.
Have a good night.
I think probably just because most people don't have preparations.
Yeah.
Someone's nickname Bailey's from Florida.
He's from Georgia.
Georgia, Florida. He's not bad.
That makes me. Because I was like, okay, he's from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Price.
So,
Price.
Bryce.
Price is probably.
What's up?
What was the problem?
I think it's the block that has battery power going into it. I think it's messing with the DA. It's causing the
Yeah.
crackling.
Oh, some crackling.
A lot of crack. A lot of crack.
I didn't have him out already.
I could hear it. And I was like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, I don't know whose it is, but
I know. I love it. I'm not bad at it. I love it.
Did it have him during the players too?
yeah. It's like there's some frequency interference. Seems like it's, and I think the power going into it too is messing with it.
The wireless one? Press it. Do you have a hard wire? It doesn't matter.
You can just say Miles. No, that's why I say Miles. You say BN. You say anything. Make it sound.
Como se dice?
Me pero me entero me estaba.
Yo como una manzana.
Alright, see, that's it. You got me.
I guess for you guys, how nice was that to kind of, I mean, maybe think of it as a redemption game, but just kind of after the way that things went at Stanford to be as dominant as you were tonight?
It definitely felt good, you know what I mean? But as you guys know, I wasn't there last year, so I didn't know how the game went, but I saw the intensity in the guys throughout the week. And not only that, but it was the seniors' last game at home, so we thought we just, let them out with a bang. So.
Nah, it definitely feels good. Obviously, we lost them last year, so a little chip on our shoulder, little comments that we try to use as fuel from the coach, but I think we just got it done. We have this on film. We can do this every week, but it's just about finishing.
You talk about doing it every week for both of you. Yeah, after that disappointing loss last week, what was the mindset coming in? I mean, did it, lack of a better word, piss you guys off to kind of push you guys to this game?
Yeah, you could say it pisses off. Obviously, you don't want to lose like that, especially a game where you feel like you have control of it. But we let it slip away. Made mistakes at the end that we probably shouldn't have, and that comes down to us just making plays and executing. So definitely fueled us a little bit. Try to right that wrong because people talk. So
I mean, just to add to that, yeah, like, if it was frustrating the way we lost, I don't think anybody wants to lose like that, so we just have to, go back to the basics throughout the week, you know what I mean, work with the coaches, and they essentially just got us ready for the game, so,
Looking at the season as a whole, how do you guys feel defensively? It seems like the schedule was different, like you played more of the top offenses this year, which may have skewed the number comparison. You've allowed more yards this year per game compared to last year, but it was like the competition was better. So how did you feel as a defense in terms of just, what kind of performance you've had this season?
I definitely feel like we've had some highs and lows, some execution issues, maybe some communication issues, and personally, I feel like that's reflected in the yards that we allowed because we gave up chunk plays and just step on a lot of just miscommunication and just people being out of position. So I wouldn't say that it reflects us as the whole defense because I think we have a great defense. We have a lot of good players, a lot of people who can fly around, a lot of athletes. It's just about executing and just making sure we can do what we need to do on our play, nothing more, nothing less.
Ashton, on your senior night, what was it like to kind of experience that and just reflect on the last couple of years as a Cardinal and just have that moment with your family, and just what was that like?
It was obviously something special to take in. It means a lot. I mean, I've been here for 4 years, had opportunities to go anywhere else, but I just love the city here. I loved how people treated me. I trusted what these coaches had for me, and obviously, just thinking about it, it's just kind of surreal just to be able to soak it in. So.
Obviously, weren't sure if, I don't think Eli was kind of for certain Holstein was going to play. He was kind of 50-50. He ended up obviously going out. How much did you guys study Nate, and how much did that kind of help with him having to come in there in the first quarter?
I mean, we studied him pretty intensively. I feel like nowadays we play college football. It's only right to study your opponent, the X's and O's, and like their tendencies. Yeah, because like when you're able to study your opponent, you're able to anticipate, which makes you like a click faster. And I think at the end of the day, so it doesn't mean play, make play. So.
Yeah. Just prayers for his family, prayers for him and his family. Just hope he gets better.
Ashton, I think it was your sack that knocked him out of the game. Did you hear anything? Bones breaking, crying, screaming? What was that like?
I don't think I heard anything like that necessarily, but I did know I landed on him in probably an awkward angle for him. So he tried, like at one point he tried to like reach out for me, but that's just obviously he's in a lot of pain, so kind of felt bad, but you got to keep it pushing.
As you mentioned, having that chip on your shoulder heading into this game, wanting to get vengeance for last year's big game and wanting to bounce back from the Stanford game. How much of a chip up is still there heading into this Kentucky game, knowing that how big that game is and how you've yet to take down Kentucky in your career?
Hey, we got one more opportunity. Really, that's all it is. It's our next game, so we just got to take it as a step by step. We got to prepare for them just the same. Watch film. Obviously, there's a little bit of obviously it's rivalry, but try to keep focused and not let it distract us from just winning the game.
Anything else for you guys? All right, that's it. Thank you.